All right. So, class today. Last night, I was at home with my husband, and we had a little bit of an argument because we were doing the dishes. And he has this method of putting away the dishes that I just really completely disagree with. So he does what I always tell him is he essentially puts away the dishes twice from the dishwasher. He likes to, when the bell rings on the dishwasher that it's done, he likes to go in and take out all of the dishes and lay them out on the counter to let them dry. Which I think is silly. I'm like, you're doing this twice, right? Let's just leave them in the dishwasher and they'll dry and it'll be fine. We'll put them away in an hour instead of laying them all out on the counter and doing it twice. And he disagrees with me, obviously, because he keeps doing it. So what I said to him was, you have the most complicated and ridiculous way of putting away the dishes. Is it really the most complicated way? Probably not. So why would I say that to him? My word choice as a speaker in this moment was really important, right? I was trying to convince him of a point, right? This is a speech from Ernesto Galarza that we're going to read. So Ernesto Galarza was a Mexican-American labor activist, a professor, and a writer. He was born in Mexico. He immigrated to Sacramento with his family at the age of 8. And what we're going to read is his speech at the National Conference of Social Work in 1929. So already as I look at the background of this person, here's some things that I'm thinking about. He's a Mexican-American activist, it says. So he's probably going to be arguing for Mexican-American rights. That's my prediction about this. And it also says that he was an immigrant. So he has the perspective of someone who has actually experienced immigration. So I'm going to use that knowledge that I have about his background to inform my reading of this text. So keeping those things in mind, he's an immigrant. I'm guessing he's pro-immigration. He's pro-Mexican-American rights. I'm going to look for specific language that he uses that's going to support or refute this hypothesis I have about his position, right? So I'm specifically honing in on that idea of word choice as I'm reading today. So the public schools have a distinct effect on the second generation of the immigrant group. The children begin to feel a cooling of the loyalty to the home country. I'm going to stop right there because I'm already noticing some words that I think are significant. So I am noticing some words that are kind of evoking some feelings in me, right? So I noticed these couple of words he uses in this sentence. The children begin to feel a cooling of the loyalty to the home country. I think that idea of loyalty and home, I think he's trying to create an empathy in the listener for the immigrant experience. And what makes me say that is I feel like this is kind of a universal sort of feeling, right? That I should be loyal to my home, right? So I think that connections to his audience. And his words loyalty and home, I can relate to those things. I'm going to keep what appeal to them as distinctly American. What is worse, they forget the mother tongue. So again, I'm noticing the really are really ideas. And this idea of tongue, that's important because that language of mother and home, right? These are very emotional. He thinks his audience can relate to this, right? Because he's speaking to people potentially who don't have that same experience as him. As Mexicans, they are denationalized, and they find themselves in a difficult borderland through which it seems that all second-generation immigrants must pass. So a word that's sticking out to me here is this word all, right? All is extreme language, right? He's saying all second-generation immigrants must pass. And I know that like whenever a speaker uses that sort of extreme language of trying to say that everybody experiences this, it's significant, right? So I'm pausing and he's saying, okay, so we're also like not just talking about the Mexican experience here, we're talking about the experience of all immigrants. So this is something that all second-generation immigrants experience. So he's sort of highlighting the significance of what he's talking about by using this extreme language. Incidentally, I wish to state that as far as my own experience extends, the Mexican parent is uniformly grateful for the educational opportunities offered to his children in this country. So lastly, in that last sentence, grateful is the word that really sticks out to me. I think that he uses this word in order to continue this like persuasion that he's trying to get across, right? He wants to get his audience on his side, and he's telling them that Mexican Americans are happy in the U.S. They're happy to be here. They're grateful for the things that they have been given. They realize that they're lucky to live in this country, and he doesn't want to alienate this audience, right? He is using this idea that they are grateful for the opportunities they have had to say that, yeah, they're happy to be here, and therefore they're contributing a lot, and we need to be offering them rights, and we need to be welcoming them into our society. So why do I think all of these things are sort of significant? Look at this as a whole, noticing that he is making as a speaker. He's creating empathy with his audience. Of Ernesto Galarza's speech. So it says document C at the top, Ernesto Galarza. So this is another piece of the same speech. And you've got 2 paragraphs there. Here's what I would like for you to do. I want you to take a couple minutes to read through this document. And I want you to pick out 1 or 2 words that you think are really significant. And then I want you to think about why are those words sticking out to you. Think about what you know about Ernesto Galarza that we've talked about. What do you notice about his word choice? You might look for those words that I talked about that evoke a feeling in you or that use extreme language. And then think about why is that significant, okay? So again, 1 or 2 words that stick out to you and think about why. And you're going to share this with a partner in a minute. So I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to read. Noticing a lot of readers making annotations by just starting to underline or highlight or circle some words, jotting a couple of thoughts. If you've got a word, you might just put a little star next to it. Just say that this is the word that I want to talk to my partner about. Full document. If you haven't, that's okay. Make sure you've got a word. I want you to turn to your elbow partner and I want you to share that word.